What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mad Chatter podcast. We got our guest Nick Piper back on.
What's up, everybody? Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
The man behind the screen.
The man behind the screens,
Yeah, that
yeah.
should be your fucking tag. That should be the title.
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. We're working on that. All right, Nick. Today we're going to talk about therapy. Let's get that out there. So, you look like the sort of guy that goes to therapy, Nick.
Oh, I definitely go to therapy. Yeah, I definitely go to therapy. I go to therapy for several different reasons.
Yeah.
It's just which topic we're working on right now. Right now, it's the anger.
The anger.
Thrown back to Angelos. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had come to this conclusion because, similar to what you had said, I had taken Adderall most of my childhood life.
Yeah.
And then stopped it right out of high school. So because I was chemically suppressed for so long, that emotion response isn't there. So that's why I snap so fast as an adult. I've been trying to figure out for so long why I'd get so angry so fast. I had to deal with a lot of shit through other relationships to finally figure out why. Very recently figure out why and bring that up to her, and her basically confirmed that, yeah, that's why. I was like, that's so relieving. Because now you can actually work on a problem and try to fix it. So going to therapy teaches you, I don't want to say teaches you, but shows you that there are these problems in your life, and most of them are relatively normal and everybody else deals with them.
Yeah.
And then there are surefire ways to fix them or help alleviate them to make life a little bit easier to deal with.
I think, like, what you were just describing is something that probably goes a lot of people think about, which is, I feel like this is specific to me, like this isn't normal, but until you get, and talk to somebody about it that, actually went to school for this sort of stuff, and be like, actually, that's totally normal.
This is normal. This is not rare. You're not crazy,
Yeah.
This is okay. A lot of people deal with this. Here's how most people deal with it. And if that method doesn't work, there's other methods to try and figure it out.
And then, like, society. Well, I don't want to say society. I'm trying to think about what I'm trying to say. But, like, we're taught, at least maybe subconsciously, to not deal with our emotions. Like, or we learn to cope. We all have different coping strategies. And maybe instead of processing this, I decided to beat this down because that's what my parents did before me.
Or some people weren't even allowed to express that emotion.
Yeah.
That's what, when I was talking about this with my other friend, he was like, oh, you probably just weren't allowed to express your emotion because you were suppressed by a parent who was like, you can't do that. That's not how you act, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you're close, but not exact.
So this is actually really interesting. I was watching a video about this. They were talking about repressed emotions, and not all emotions that you repress are negative. There's also positive emotions that you repress, because say you were really excited about something, about art, or like you were passionate about something, but your parents didn't want you to go down that path. Yeah. And every time you were excited about something and tried to bring it up, you got negative stimulus. So you actually repressed like your creative side. Right. So it's not just negative things that you can repress.
Interesting.
Yeah,
very interesting. I learned about something. People negatively respond to compliments, like genuine compliments.
Yeah.
I guess something similar to that, where they can't allow themselves to feel happy because of some kind of past suppression, like you're describing, that they can't even take, full-grown adults can't take simple compliments.
Yeah.
It's very crazy.
I remember the podcast with Jordan where I was talking about compliments, and I'm like, I just don't. For me, it's different, though, because, like, I'm more on, like, a philosophical level, not, like, a psychological level with the compliments.
Right.
Though I'm sure it's all psychological, too. But...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I just... I appreciate compliments. But I also don't, like, know how to take them. Like, sometimes, like, thank you's just not enough. I just, like...
Yeah, I'm at a weird point in life right now where I actually don't even want people to acknowledge me.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll be at work and people will be chatting and they'll say my name and I'll just kind of...
Why don't you want people to acknowledge
I don't know right now. I haven't figured out why. I'm trying to just avoid everything and everyone. Right? Like, I just want to phase in, do my job, and phase out. I don't know. It's weird. But, like, people, they'll compliment me, and I'm like, stop. That feels weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Is it just like a right now thing, or has it been this
Yeah,
way?
it's a right now thing. It hadn't been like this thing, but I don't know. I felt like I bullshitted my way into my job. So
Yeah.
I got big imposter syndrome about it, which
lot
was
of-
another
a lot
topic
of-
we talked about
A
in
lot
therapy.
of people do that. man.
Yeah, and you bring it up to your therapist, and you're like, no, that's totally normal. But here's the reality: you didn't bullshit your way in. They picked you over other people.
Yeah.
So it's not like you lied your way in.
You should ask your. I mean, I don't know if they do this in a like official. You should ask your therapist if they have imposter syndrome.
If therapists have imposter syndrome?
Yeah, I mean, imagine being a therapist and that's your job.
I have thought about this.
like-
What her job is like, and having to deal with basically all my patients. Their life sucks, and they come and they complain to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because my cousin, that's how she's described it. She'd be like, I don't want to go to work and hear all these people complain about their problems. They're not that big, and I'm like, I kind of figured that's how some of it went.
I feel like a really good therapist or really good counselor is like a modern day shaman. Someone you can go to seek guidance from and also give you time to reflect. And in a way, it's just sort of like
helps you reflect
meditation when you're going there. You're reflecting upon these things that happened this week or this month. And a lot of the time, we're just all on go mode. We're just going 24/7.
Yes.
On to the next stimulus, to the next stimulus on social media. Then we go to work. Then we come home. Then we're talking to people. There's not a lot of alone time. And if you do get alone time, you're watching TV or you're on TikTok or you're playing video games.
Yes.
Where's the time for silence?
Yes.
In today's world.
I think that's why I enjoy being outside so much.
It is nice.
Because when I go outside, all of that stimulus stays inside. The TV, the computer, even so much the wife, the dogs, all kinds of stimulus stays in the house. And I go outside and I can take my phone, put it down like this, and just sit back and just relax and just listen to natural sound. It's very soothing, very calming.
I like going out back sometimes and like walking down by the water.
Dude, I love your little spot up. I was telling Jen about it. I was like, he's got a really nice setup. You can just sit there and watch the water. Jealous.
Yeah, it's
very jealous. You ever sell this house?
Yeah.
You better let me know.
Here, man, I'm gonna rent this one out. I'll let you move, man. I'll give you the friend discount. Yeah, I mean it's but I'm also like in the middle. I'm like smack dab in the middle of Shreveport, pretty much.
There are benefits to that.
Oh no, I'm not.
Everything's accessible. Everything's quick down the street.
That's the benefit, but it's like it's almost like a little oasis.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have like ducks in the back. Like it's like a duck pond. You got turtles. You got different birds. They're bluebirds, which are an endangered species actually.
Really?
And they fly around here.
Wow. I saw a crane out there or a egret or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, man.
That's real nice.
Sometimes I'm just thinking, I was like, I just want to bring a blanket down there and just.
Dude, I'd build up a little setup. Because you've seen what I've done with my porch. I would just duplicate that out there. I finally got Jenna, convinced her. She wants us to build our own pergola.
Pergola?
Yeah.
Pergola?
I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Because now you can put like furniture out in the yard and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be nice.
I mean, there's so many awesome things you can do with money.
Yes.
Like just,
if you have
appreciate.
Money.
Yeah. For me, it's just Tesla stock. So it's.
That's all you want to spend your money on. I just want to.
I miss spending money on other stuff, but. Sacrifices.
I've pretty much, I believe, figured out all the comforts in life that I like.
Yeah.
So now I'm just buying nice comforts that I enjoy. And I don't mind spending money on things that bring me comfort and joy.
I just have to put everything through the lens of, which I don't honestly know, like, if I spend more money on, like, say I stop buying Tesla stock or stop paying down my margin, does my life actually get better?
I guess that depends on you, and if that less margin stresses you out less.
Oh, it's not about, like, the stress from the margin. Just, like, say I mounted my TV and I got the speakers that I wanted. Is that going to worthwhile long time actually boost my day-to-day happiness? Like, of course it will at first.
Yeah,
but
you get that short-term kick.
Yeah, but then it's just going to balance out to normal levels. And I'm like, so if I can sacrifice all this, like, financial freedom, that's going to impact my life every day. Of course, that will get normal too, and I'll probably find out that this illusion of getting to this financial... I've already thought about that a lot, how my biggest goal right now, once it's achieved, like there's going to be a new set of trials that are going to happen because I'm going to have all this free time on my hand.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, wow, I probably feel the same working like at the job, the traditional lifestyle or whatever, as I will whenever I can do whatever I want. Like at first it's probably dope, but then at a certain point you're like, I need to find meaning. Like I need something to be driven for because my biggest goal in life has just been achieved. And if that's the case, if I achieved that in my like 20s, early 30s, I wasn't dreaming big enough.
That's the end goal, right?
Yeah.
To reach financial freedom and independency, but we don't know what to do after that because traditionally you're like 65, 70. You just kind of stop living because you've lived your life for so long. But for us, if we get there earlier, what do we do with that excess time? We have to find meaning and purpose. Otherwise, we'll go crazy. So we'll just end up going back to work at a traditional job.
So that's the podcast because I'm treating this like a job.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you know that because
for sure.
I remember whenever I was like, I'm doing it, I was like, I flipped a switch. Like something inside of me just flipped with this.
And you have to do it that way.
Yeah.
It's like you have to treat it just like someone who's overweight who's decided to get in shape. You have to flip a mental switch and you have to keep that bitch on. And you have to dedicate to it and work to it. And it has to fill your mental space, and that has to be your life if you want that to have net positive results like you do.
Yeah.
You're going to have to work long and hard into it, and it will eventually pay off.
It's it's pretty crazy that the change.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was trying to do the music thing with Angelo.
Yeah.
You know, manage, and it ended up being like a 50-50 thing where we were both funding making music, and you know, there was some complications there. We put that on hold, and I still like to think it's just on hold right now until maybe we come back, do it differently. But I need something outside of my job to give me meaning, fulfillment, and grow as a person because I'm not growing anymore at my job. Like I can't, like. But since, you know, I started doing this podcast, work is no longer as sufferable or insufferable, you know, as it was.
Right.
Because I'm thinking about doing this. And
this
even though
is not your end goal.
It's like, it's more stressful, but it's more fulfilling. Like, which really, it's like a scale. Like, if the stress is this high and the fulfillment is this much from this activity you're doing, then you're not going to do it. But it's like the fulfillment's up here and the stress is like down here. So it's gone up, but it's worth it. It's, you know, you watched that podcast with Graham Stephan?
Mm-hmm. The last one that just came out?
With Alex Hornez.
Oh, yeah, dude. I just finished it on the way here.
So good.
Fantastic.
It's so good. He quoted it, and you could, you know, well, maybe have to like look up the quote, but he said, when the pain of not doing something exceeds the pain of doing something.
I know what you're referencing.
Yeah. So basically it means
you're talking about you're not suffering enough for you to actually do something about it.
Yeah. So like not doing something is more painful than doing something about it.
Right.
That's when you do something. I feel like that's this podcast.
Yeah. You've reached that point where the normal day life is so you've suffered enough to like, all right, I'm actually for real doing something about it. I'm not just talking about it. I'm flipping the switch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm growing so much from doing this, learning new things. Like, I feel my confidence expanding in ways way outside of this.
Yeah.
Like, I guess if you're getting used to being on camera and just being honest with the whole world potentially watching you, it makes you care less. But also, I guess about the smaller things, like if you can overcome this thing, then you can overcome like anything.
Yeah.
Like social anxiety and speaking on camera and stuff. So.
Yeah. Social anxiety is a big one I try to work on.
But I still feel like getting in front of a group of people and speaking would be difficult. Like
I find public speaking is not as difficult when you know a lot about, like if you know 100% about a topic, usually you go on stage and give about 30% of it.
Yeah.
Then you'll be incredibly confident about what you know.
I feel pretty confident giving a speech on Tesla. Yeah,
because you know a lot about Tesla, so if you went in front of a bunch of people who didn't know anything, you'd feel confident explaining it to them because you have way more knowledge than what you're gonna present. So that knowledge backs up that confidence.
You ever like had to like speak in front of a group and like blacked out?
No, I have been very lucky to not have an embarrassing public speaking moment, but also the public speeches that I've given have never been to people important.
Okay. I just remember in drug court, I had to do my testimonial in front of all the drug court, like all the different phases and counselors. And a lot of people like wrote down, like you had to talk for like 5 minutes or something.
Right.
And everybody was like
Most
writing
people
everything
script.
down. Yeah, dude,
I'm a scripter.
I didn't. I just was like,
You winged it.
I'm going to wing it. I'm just
you
going to go up
winged
there
it.
and try to tell my life story. And then I remember like I blacked out. I remember like coming to at the end, and I was like, am I good now? Like, is my time good? And they're like, yep, because I'm about to pass. I'm about to pass out right now. If you say I got to keep going.
Pressure.
Yeah, and then everyone clapped, and I was like, I don't even know what I said up there.
I don't know what causes that pressure. You think it's the eyes or the silence or the fact that you're elevated above them?
I think
what do you think causes that?
Well,
I think it's the silence for me. It's the dead silence with the stare.
I didn't even look at anybody's eyes, but I can't really remember doing it. But whenever, what is it, an MRI? You can tell that psychological pain literally lights up the same part of the brain as physical pain. So because psychological pain can be like if you're ostracized from society, when you're outcast, that can be extremely painful. So we're so interconnected. If you're not secure in yourself, getting in front of a group full of people and like 100 people laughing at you, like, is a terrifying thought. It's basically extremely painful.
Also that people laughing at you. You know, what do you watch when people go on stage and they do something and then people laugh at them? It's always on TV, right? Like a movie where someone goes and does something on stage and they goof and people just laugh at you because they're malicious, you know? That's not what life's really like. I've never been in a crowd and someone goofed and everyone just starts pointing and laughing like we're all in high school.
Yeah, it's over
dramatized to the point where that's like a fear that we grow up with because we see it on TV, but in reality, that never happens. That's all kinds of shit that you see on TV that you expect to be in the real world, and then it never actually happens to you. It's just made up. It's very strange.
I mean, I think we just watched too much TV growing up. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
People start getting unrealistic expectations about the world.
Yes, very unrealistic expectations about the world.
That's why you need a therapist.
That's why you need a therapist to bring you back to reality.
To bring you back, man.
And explain to you all the normalcies of life.
You know, since we recorded this previous one or whatever about this topic too, you know, and then it shit out on us.
Yeah.
The free therapy cards.
The therapy cards.
Yes. Right. I think that my parents could use some free therapy cards.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But would they be the type that got offended by it?
I really couldn't give a fuck. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get them some free therapy. I'm gonna be like,
free therapy.
Y'all gotta go to therapy.
2 free sessions.
Yeah, 2 free sessions. Come on, y'all make more money than I do. Y'all can fucking afford this.
You need to let this out.
Yeah.
Whereas it like me, if you went and gave me a therapy card, I'd be like, oh hell yeah, that's $40 I get to keep.
Appreciate
that, man. You can always get me free therapy.
It's the best gift ever. Fucking, we'll start handing out cards at work.
Here, you need therapy, and you need therapy. Everybody needs therapy. Everybody probably does need therapy.
Yeah.
Or some kind of
at least
guidance or mentor.
At least once you they can help you learn the tools, and then maybe you don't need it as much, but you can.
I think you can outgrow them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like,
that's the goal.
I did like over a year's worth of counseling and therapy with drug court. I took those tools that I learned from there and I apply them to my life to this day.
Yeah.
And I've tried to share these things with people I know. I'm just a free therapist walking around trying to give tools to help people if they want it. And so, yeah, you can outgrow certain mentors or like counseling, but it doesn't mean you won't get back in a situation where you need to go back.
Right.
You know, but
it's not I'm fixed, you know.
Yeah, there's no.
I don't ever need to go back. That's not how life works.
So it's weird talking about this because my philosophy is you can't be fixed because you can't be broken, but that's like a higher level. You know how I got all these crazy thoughts and shit. I'm trying to figure out how to integrate that and like say it in a way that's more honest
and more simple
without the illusion of good and bad.
Right.
Which is damn near impossible, I think. I think to just talk to people, you have to talk with the language which implies things. And if you can learn how to talk in a language which implies things to a way to where they're not implied, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably be like another one of my goals in life, to figure out how to use language in a better way than.
Yeah, communication is a lot better when you know how to articulate what you're really trying to say to people.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought it was weird that people didn't articulate a lot when I was growing up, but because of my ADHD, I like to over-explain things. So I'm like, I need to communicate this thought to you as much as possible so you can understand it as the best context. So explain these things, and every story has a detailed, complex backstory and all this stuff.
That's
because
Angelo.
I think that I don't know the percentage. I used to say 90, but I'm kind of revised it to 80. But I think 80% of the problems that we face in the day-to-day world are just lacks of communication. Like, especially with people at work.
Oh, my God.
Fucking Keys, man. Twice in 1 week, he did it again. He just fucked my shit up because he can't explain things and can't communicate like an adult. I'm like, dude, you are a leader. It is your job to be good at communication. Why can you not communicate simple tasks with me? Make me do double work. It pisses me off. Ugh. Back to therapy about anger. Working on how do we deal with that.
Well, I was going to say, because I could think of like a few tools right now that I've learned from drug court that I still apply to my life today.
Mm-hmm.
So what are like some interesting things you didn't even know about? Because I didn't even know about these things called boundaries. Like, not like you got physical boundaries, like, hey, don't be in my bubble. But you also have to have mental boundaries where, like, excuse me, you don't, like, you almost have, like, say someone's at work and they're pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
And I am very susceptible to pick up on that. So I have to have very strong emotional boundaries with this person, which keeps their negative energy from coming into me. Like, I have to almost box them in, which is funny enough. Like, put them in their own box and just not, like, it's essentially like a wall of that can stave off like vampire sucking, draining energy.
Like an invisible wall.
Yeah.
Like your bad vibes and your bad voodoo stays over there with you.
And
doesn't
also
bleed into me.
I learned about projection too. I didn't even know what the hell the concept of projection was, and how people like how if you're very, I want to use Angelo for an example. I'm not saying he does this, but if he's preparing for the apocalypse, actually, fuck, that's a bad example. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say projection though?
My understanding of projection came from watching the news and seeing people who typically hate gay people end up coming out as gay.
Yeah.
And my interpretation of projection is I'm trying to repress something internally, so I'm also going to hate it verbally abroad to overcompensate the fact that I'm hiding something I'm embarrassed about, So projection is like if someone's strongly opposed to something or vocal about something, that's probably a very intimate thing for them that they're hiding. They're projecting that suppression. They want to suppress it on other people as well because they're suppressing it from within.
There we go. I got it. So another example I could give is that I am trying. I just started working out, and like I'm working out, I'm dieting, I'm doing all these healthy things, and then I'm looking out at other people, and I'm judging them for not doing it because I've demonized that behavior in my head.
That's because you've demonized it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I say, oh, that behavior's bad. So
I've done the same thing.
Yeah. So it's something like that.
I went through this part where I hated fat people.
Yeah.
Because I thought they had no self-control. And I was like, you people are just fucking worthless. You can't even control what you stuff in your face. You goddamn disgusting. But this is like excessive, overweight, like 400-plus pound people. I'm like, you're just pathetic. You can't even control yourself. Yeah. But there's reasons why they are like that, and you have to educate yourself to understand that they just don't do that on purpose. It's mostly unintentional.
You would have to accept yourself.
Yeah.
That is within you as well.
Right.
And that can be a bitter pill to swallow.
Yes.
Because, man, we like me and Brett just talked about, it's boxing people in and stuff.
Giving people predetermined labels.
Yep.
Labels
is so
labels
much
suck.
easier.
They're nice because you can categorize people, but they're not very accurate most
Yeah.
of the time, from what I understand. Like my therapist was describing her political stance.
Mm-hmm.
She was describing herself as a moderate Republican, and I was like, "You sound like an independent Republican, like a
Yeah.
right-leaning independent." Because in today's world, what I've seen is the scale has been drawn so much further to the right that you're more far left than you realize.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you just call her a Republican, she gets that wide-ranging label.
Yeah.
But in reality, if you sit down and talk to her about it, it's not a very accurate label.
Yeah.
Accurate labels just make things more simple for people to understand, but they're usually not accurate at all.
Yeah. I don't give a shit about political labels. In fact, I think they just get rid of the labels. Let's just vote on ideas.
I'm an ideas person. That's why I don't stand behind people. That's why I don't stand behind Biden or Trump or any specific human, because humans are flawed creatures. I stand behind ideas. You can't kill an idea.
Yeah.
So I stand behind ideas, not people. 'Cause people are swayed creatures. You know, I'd trust a dog more than a person.
You don't stand behind Papa Elon, man?
No. I don't stand behind most human
Elon.
beings.
Sorry,
So,
Elon.
ideas. Clean energy? Yeah, I'm behind that.
Yeah. You're not behind his pedo tweet?
No, not behind that. See, then if you idolize people, they do some fucked up shit. Everyone's like, you like that person. Fuck you. And I'm just like, but fuck them too. Also, I can still like them and say fuck them too, you know? There was a part, I like Dr. Disrespect. I think he's funny. He's a very good heel in the gaming industry. But he was streaming at a convention and he walked into the bathroom. And that's a big no-no in streaming. You don't film in bathrooms.
Yeah.
And everybody was giving him a bunch of shit. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's bad. You shouldn't do that. So I also flame, but you can still support. That's why if you don't follow and idolize people, you don't get caught in that trap of, oh, you're a fan, you're a stan, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, I don't know. Because for me,
I like them, but people are flawed.
I'm a fan of Elon, obviously.
I like things he does.
Yeah, he does a lot of cool shit. A
Yeah,
lot of
he
shit I
puts
appreciate.
rockets into space and lets them land themselves. It's
But
pretty fucking awesome.
I think
in reality,
don't idolize. Don't get disconnected from reality.
Yeah.
Like if he does something you don't like, you can say you don't like it.
Them.
Yeah.
You can like them. Don't
like the pedo tweet. I was like, bro, that was just shit. That shit was uncalled for. That was like some childish shit.
The tweet he sent to Bernie, he was like, "I keep forgetting you're still alive." I was like, "That's not tasteful."
Yeah, no, that was funny for me. That was fucking funny. I mean, God, man, I just want to say fuck Bernie right now. I've listened to a lot of stuff Bernie said and agreed with it.
Yeah.
But then like just listening to his argument about it was like not that long ago, but I can't remember what he said. I just remember being like, I disagree with that strongly. All of that. But he was talking about like billionaires paying taxes and stuff and his way of doing it. And I'm like, I disagree with where I'm sitting today. Like maybe in a few years I'll wholeheartedly agree with that. But then Elon Musk said, I forgot she was still alive. I was like, bro, that's just a fucking burn for an old person. But, also Bernie shouldn't give a fuck about Elon's opinion like that.
No, he shouldn't.
But if he does,
feelings are going to get hurt a lot.
That's his own problem. You know what I mean? Like if you're in public office of anything, you open yourself up to scrutiny. Like you got to make sure you're like able to handle that. So
that's part of the game.
I don't care about the Twitter burns.
People following you into the bathroom, yelling at you.
It's kind of like it's these left field tweets from him that just crack me up sometimes, where he said damn near, I'll try to quote it. He's like, all right, so I got the quote right here.
Okay.
Sew one button doesn't make you a tailor. Cook one meal doesn't make you a chef. But fuck one horse and you're a horse fucker for all of history. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, that's very out of left field. Strangeness.
Somebody says his tweets are incredible. I don't know, man.
Sure.
When you're like one of the richest people in the world, and like you're a CEO of multiple companies, and you
meme
talk
around.
about horse fucking
Yeah.
on Twitter, you're breaking the mold. It's gonna make
You
someone
definitely
pissed
break
off.
the mold. Yeah, he definitely does break the mold of the traditional billionaires.
Yeah.
Which that I can vibe behind.
I think he's pretty good with humor.
He has a very, how do I say, certain spectrum of humor, yeah. That some people will like and some people will absolutely hate, like that. Most people are going to go, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, the horse fucking quote.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's true, though.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
It's true. Yeah, it's not just horse fucking. It's also like murder, though. You murder one person, now you're a murderer.
Yeah, even if you don't intend to do it on purpose.
Yeah, you don't have to be professional at it, though.
Be accidental, you're still murder.
Don't murder. Just don't talk to people. Just duck off like you were talking about.
Just phase in and out.
Yeah.
But then I realized that, like, people value me a lot more than I value myself when people talk about me, give me these compliments. Oh, that's kind of nice and refreshing at the same time. It's weird. It's back and forth of, like, I want people to talk about me. I don't want anyone to mention me ever.
You know, like a
Don't speak
bipolar
to me.
thing.
Kind of. Yeah, I guess that could be a way to describe it. Well, maybe it's because I just don't want Keys to fucking talk to me at all.
Yeah.
So I don't want him around. He's one of those things that therapy has been really helpful about, trying to learn how to cope with things that you can't change, obstacles that you can't go around. So he is a type of person, he's dead set in his ways. So there's nothing I can do or say to change him. No matter how many times I bitch and complain and be mean or be nice about it, he's never going to change. So therapy helps deal with coping mechanisms of how to get around these topics.
Yeah.
I mean, these obstacles and these unmovable objects in your life. One of those is NPCing them.
NPCing, yeah.
She described it as turning them into an inanimate object, like a chair, but I'm a gamer, so I was like, nah, I'm just going to NPC them, make sure they're... So now in my mind, all their responses are scripted, they have no meaning, they have no value. I have dehumanized them. Yes, this is... I don't do it to everybody. I do it to a very small select few of people, but this is one of the ways that I cope with someone that brings me a great amount of stress at work.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start NPCing people on the podcast and be like, these are all just scripts. Bro, I could turn my parents into NPCs right now.
Yeah. When you learn that people cap out at a certain intelligence level, you're like, oh, you almost kind of like actually are an NPC.
Yeah.
Like you just show up, come to work, do your bit, and then go home, and that's your life.
It stands for non-playable character. If
Yeah.
you didn't know. So
I don't do that intentionally to be an NPC. I'm doing it to be frugal and cheap.
Yeah.
So like go home, do nothing, save money. Eventually, I will be going out and doing a lot and traveling.
Yeah,
but
that's
right
the
now,
goal.
I'm sacrificing now for the future.
Yeah.
So I have to live in the moment and constantly check myself of like, does this get me to where I'm trying to be? Does this get me to financial freedom? Does buying this get me to financial freedom? Does it bring me enough happiness to postpone that financial freedom?
You got to plant the money seeds today.
Yeah.
We're in our 20s,
You have to plant the money seeds as
Yeah.
early as possible. As soon as you graduate 18, start investing.
Dude, that's the coolest shit. Because
That
a lot
is
of
something
people,
nobody prepped me for.
A lot of people watching right now are like not even in their 20s yet.
Mm-hmm.
And like if they started investing just a little bit today and like started making a habit about that shit would grow into millions.
Exactly.
Like easy. That's easy
the
money.
only way I am going to get anywhere close to a millionaire status is by investing. It's not going to be through a career.
No,
because we live in Louisiana. We're one of the worst paid states for salary
we really
of
are.
any type of job. The median is just awful here. So I'll never be a millionaire working a job. It's going to have to be through investing.
Even if you're a great saver, it's not good enough. You got to invest.
You can't penny pinch your way to a million. Someone can, but I cannot. So my method of getting to millions is investing. It's the easiest, simplest path.
Scale 1 to 10. How would you rate your therapist?
10.
10? 10 out of 10?
The last one, 6. This one, 10.
That's dope.
This one is very much more in tune with me and my cares and, well, how do we get Nick to a better place?
Well, I got
a question she brings up all the time. Like, we're doing this so we can get Nick to this place, so that we can get Nick to this place, so that when Nick's making $70,000 a year, 80% of his stress goes away.
Yeah.
Then you won't have to come here anymore because your problems will be gone.
I got a 15 out of 10 15 out of 10
therapist, yeah. John?
Yeah, dude. fucking game changer. I want to poach you so bad. I'm like, bro, just please. I'll give you the free therapy session, homie. I'll pay for it, bro. But, at the same time, like, I'm just that confident that he would be as good as your therapist, if not better. But I do understand when you're going to counseling and stuff, like, different counselors, different therapists are better for different people.
Yeah.
Like, there is that. But I also like to think that there's just great, phenomenal quality, and maybe that's exactly what it is. Maybe you just really click with her, and that's what it is, or maybe it's just because she's got that thing. She's got that itness, that thingness. I don't know.
She's very good at getting to the point with things. She's got Asperger's.
Yeah.
So she just straight to the problem.
it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Straight to it. I really dig it. It makes it so much easier instead of having to dance around these topics. This and that. And she's like, no, you just don't like this because blank. I'm like, makes so much sense when you say it like that. But it sucks because I can't just fix it like that. She's like, yeah, but you can. I'm like, but I can't. She's like, but you can. You just say it.
Talk to John. Talk to John.
Right. Well, I mean, if I ever meet him, sure.
God, you're gonna
talk to him.
You're gonna have to. I'll get you that free therapy card, man. I promise.
Yeah, if he's got a free therapy card, I'll beta test it out for him.
I'll beta test it. Yeah, that's the best way to fucking put it. I'm telling you, dude. I want to sponsor his practice or whatever.
Yeah, get him to come on here if he's willing to.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him again. Hopefully, he's gonna be on like this month or something. That would be cool.
That would be nice. Yeah,
that'd be really fucking cool. He's starting to watch the backlog of podcasts now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Well, hopefully he sees some good bits.
Yeah.
There have been some good bits for sure, I think.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Good conversations.
But, yeah, so I'll try to poach you. But yeah, you wanted to talk about the whole living in the
moment.
Yeah, versus preparing for the future.
Yeah. So I think it's more important to prepare for the future than it is to live in the moment right now in my 20s in my life. Because like I was saying with the money, you have to plant these seeds now and water them for decades to bear real fruit. These aren't strawberry seeds you're planting here. These are oak seeds you're planting. These are going to take decades to form, these habits and these life-changing experiences, so you have to do them now. So in the short term, you have to make a lot of sacrifices. I make lots of sacrifices all the time. Going home and doing absolutely nothing, not spending any money whatsoever, small-term sacrifices, so I can keep investing, so I can get those years of gains. Yeah, I like to live, I like to have the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan, 3-month plan. I try to plan out, even though it's to a point you can't plan it out because you have absolutely no control over it whatsoever. Yeah. You have goals. I like goal-oriented person. Because of my ADHD, I try to be goal-oriented. So when that's the other thing with being ADHD, you have to set small goals, small achievable goals, not just, I want to be a millionaire. So you have no shit. So does everybody else. How do you get there?
Yeah. Well, it's just instead of looking at it as something abstract, like I want $1 million, and instead of saying, oh, it's just a series of small steps, what you really want to do is focus on building habits.
Yes.
Habits is just nothing but small steps taken daily towards this goal. You know, you're not going to climb the mountain in a day.
Exactly.
But if you train to start climbing the mountain, it's going to make climbing the mountain easier. So,
Yeah. My habit right now is studying. I need to force studying into my habits. I need to make it a ritual of studying. That's what Alex was saying on the Graham Stephan podcast. Your chores into rituals so they become more interesting.
So for me, it's not about forcing anything. Right. I mean, even though sometimes when something feels forced to me,
I'm resistant to it naturally.
Yeah. So like, if you want to do something, you'll do it.
Yeah.
This is my theory. I might be very wrong, but I've been thinking about it a lot. Me and Angelo talked about it.
If you really want to do it.
Yeah. If you got a problem smoking,
you'll quit.
Yeah.
You just quit.
If you don't want to, and you want to quit smoking, you'll quit smoking.
Yeah.
But if you, but it's also not as simple because we identify, as a person, which, I disagree with. But at the very least, if I say that we're a person and I identify as such, well, who you are changes moment to moment. So in one moment, right after I smoked a cigarette, I'm the person that is absolutely down with quitting. But now when my body changes and my brain is starting the cravings, I am a different version than I was after I just finished my first cigarette. So now the desire to quit is not as strong as my desire to do it. So that's why I say we do what we want to do. You know, you can't force yourself to do anything.
There are certain things you're just going to do.
That's
part of adulting.
You may feel resistance, but like, I don't believe there's any like independent operator in your head that's driving all this shit we do, even though sometimes it feels like it. I think we're just experiencing this shit, but that it's hard to like say those things and still be practical because people are like, but what can I practically do? And my answer would be nothing. There's nothing you can do. Just, accept that right now that you are completely out of control. People don't like hearing that.
They don't.
Yeah.
People don't like you breaking their preconceived molds of life, that it's just simple and it's very easy. Like, no, life's very complex and difficult. And if you sit down and think about it, you scare yourself into, craziness.
Yeah.
Worrying about
anxiety attack, man.
Yeah, mine is death. I'll scare myself into a panic attack thinking about death and what happens after. And nothing happens after, but it's still scary.
Yeah.
Like, life will continue on and I won't.
I feel like I'm more afraid of a panic attack than I am death at this point. Like, because I gotta be there for the panic attack, not if I'm dead. So,
I think for me, I have a panic attack and then an anxiety attack. And they're two different things.
They're two different things.
They're two different things, and they feel very different when they come on.
Okay.
An anxiety attack is like a hot flash, like a thermonuclear bomb goes off in my chest, and it just spreads throughout my body, and I start to sweat, and I get real short breath, and I start to hyperventilate. That's like an anxiety attack. A panic attack is like a fight or flight moment, and it's usually fear or anger induced. And so it's very different response than an anxiety attack. It's very in the moment, very aware of what's going on, but lack of logic.
Yeah. I don't know. I might disagree.
That's me.
I might disagree with, I'm pretty sure anxiety attack and panic attack are like just
most people use
synonymous.
them interchangeably as the same thing, but I think mine are, I can distinguish the two apart from I want to kill somebody to I'm freaking out right now. I don't know why.
I think you're describing an anxiety attack, and like you said, flight or fight. You're talking about adrenaline. That, to me, I wouldn't classify that as a panic attack. Obviously.
That's just how I classify it. Again, labels.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Inaccurate.
Yeah, because I was disagreeing with the whole selfish thing. I'm like, I don't care what the definition says.
Oh, yeah. I went on for a minute about the definition of selfish, but I was like, but everyone's is different. I was agreeing with you. I was like, everyone's is different.
Yeah, I'm
like,
no,
I
see that.
Webster's dictionary defines.
I was like, it doesn't feel right saying it. Like, it may be the official definition, but
I don't think it's accurate.
I don't subscribe to their definition of selfish.
Exactly.
Like, I don't
My
have
label
to.
is different.
Yep.
Again, communication. Most problems, lack of communication. You might mean the same thing, but you're saying the wrong words. Communication.
Yep. Yeah. Dude, I'm so glad you watched that podcast.
I did, yeah.
Dude, it was excellent, bro. It's, they had one with him like 2 weeks prior.
Apparently so. I need to go back and listen to it.
Yeah, I watched that one first, and by the end of it, I'm like, dude, man, me and this guy agree on a lot of the same shit.
Yeah.
He's just like way further in his journey of like physical excellence. And
I would guess he's about 10 years older than us in our journey, and I was definitely subscribing to a lot of his ideas and topics. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yep, that's good. I agree with that.
Yeah, he's someone I'd subscribe to be more like, I guess. Of course, he's got a shitload of money, apparently, so
yeah,
that don't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. I like to know how the rich people get their monies. Try to imitate that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my girlfriend or wife to understand real estate.
Start a podcast.
We need no. I don't have the time. I don't want to put the time in to do it. I mean, that's why I don't mind on the back end editing or hosting, but I don't want to run this. I don't want to be your manager.
Yeah, it's stressful.
It's a stressful job.
It's stressful.
I don't want to deal with that.
I'm going to need therapy. You better give me a fucking therapy voucher card for that thumbnail last night, bro. I'm like right before the podcast or whatever, I was like, hey, can't do it. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay,
So
got you. So I shot it. I'm gonna need a therapy voucher card.
I got you, dude. Yeah, I went to my dad's house because my dad is moving.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's been evicted or if his lease is up,
Mm-hmm.
but he's decided to move. And he was like, hey, you need to come over and look at all this stuff and see if you want any of it. And I was like, okay.
Free shit.
Free shit. You know, but his shit's worthless. It's absolutely fucking worthless, Steve. Goddamn. But he has photos, pictures, and VHSs and 8mm films. Okay. I'm like, this shit's important. I need this shit. Yeah. Like family stuff, genealogy type stuff, great grandparents and whatnot. So then we ended up at his brother's house. Well, fuck, I done forgot how I've been to his house twice in my life. I done forgot how far it's like a 50-minute drive that way to his house. So we get out there and I'm like, fuck, we're going to be out here way longer than I thought I was going to be. So that's when I shot off the message. I was like, hey, man, I can't do it. I'm not going to be back in time to get situated, sit down and do it before I know you want to upload it. So I just bit the bullet and I was like, sorry, I can't do it.
Shit happens.
Shit happens out of my control.
Yeah. And, that's why we're trying to get ahead on these.
Yes, that's why we want to get ahead. That's exactly what we're doing.
So much nicer,
That's
man.
exactly what we're doing right now is getting ahead.
Get ahead.
That'll fix that problem. So we find a problem, solution, implement it, never have to deal with this problem again.
Yeah. Try to stay at least a couple weeks ahead.
Yeah.
God, that'd be so nice.
It is going to be so nice. Problem solving.
I always feel like I'm playing catch up.
Yes. That's the tough part about doing it day to day. See, I feel for like full-time streamers and YouTubers where that is the schedule. Yeah. It's like every day. I'm like, fuck, I feel bad for y'all.
Yeah.
I can't even subscribe to them anymore. Like even Graham.
Yeah.
I'm unsubbed to Graham because it's 3 videos a week. I'm like, dude, I don't have the time to keep up because I like nice, clean. When I go to my sub, I want everything watched.
Yeah.
So if you're posting daily, I can't keep up with that.
Yeah.
Like PewDiePie, I love you, bro. I can't sub to you. It's just too much.
Yeah.
And it's like Russian Badger says, like if you constantly upload, you just dilute the quality to where it's just like.
Or, let's say it's the same quality, but
brain dump material.
Scarcity though.
Yeah,
like
scarcity.
When there's less and you want to come back for more. So the Iced Coffee Hour, they post once a week.
Once a week.
Right? So like I'm excited when I see that they post it.
Like, I don't even shit. That's how I felt when it popped up on my phone. I was like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing today.
I don't even watch Graham's, mate. I'm still subbed, but my feed is not filled with this shit because I never click on it because it's all the shit.
The message is simple. It's just he's keeping up with news.
It's like the lowest common denominator shit. I don't care what's going on with the macro environment most of the time.
I really don't because it doesn't have that big of an impact over the scope of time that I'm investing. What's happening right now will have little impact. Just like when the crash happened in March 2020, that is a small fucking blip on my radar.
Like all the videos that are going to get the most views for him are the ones I've already seen. He's just making it more modern.
Yeah.
Or it's fear-based stuff like the market's doing this.
The market's crashing.
And I
stopped
buying
real estate.
There's like 1,000 videos out from every YouTuber that's in like finances.
Yeah.
That is like the recession. Kathy Wood says this recession's coming for these companies, and it's not like I don't give a fuck, dude.
I don't give a fuck.
I just buy and hold.
Claims blah blah blah.
I just buy and hold Tesla.
I just don't fucking care.
That's all you need to do, bro.
Buy and hold my divvy stocks.
Buy and hold Tesla and S&P 500. You're good to go.
Yep. Like I said, I can see my goals. Small goals. This year, the goal was to get $2 a day average of dividends.
Yeah.
So it was I made $106. So it was an average $2 a day, or week, whichever. Yeah, a week. $2 a week.
So
small goals that I'm reaching. All the other noise that's happening right now doesn't matter. That's why I'm not I'm really sub to the news right now because it's just irrelevant.
My criticism is you should be invested in growth because you're in a growth stage.
Oh, I am. That's 50% of my portfolio.
Is in growth?
50.
Okay. Is that in a lot of art
50.
stuff?
No.
Okay.
That's 10.
Okay, well that's good.
Actually,
I was
like,
I would right now. I mean, obviously, I am.
No, I'm
outlier.
bullish AF.
Yeah.
On everything, like 50% is growth and index funds.
Okay.
Like just straight appreciation.
You should definitely own some Tesla outright.
Outright, I don't own it, but through dilution, I own plenty of Tesla.
You should get.
Like it's 10% of my portfolio.
You should at least get like quarter of a share or something.
Yeah.
Get a little something.
Every time I buy an individual stock, it goes down.
Well, see, like I'm all about the dividends. I'm
all about the dividends.
I'm not all about them right
40,
now.
So 50% is growth, 40% is divvies, and then the remainder is bonds and
and dividends
future
for the
ETF.
people listening is if you buy $100 worth of stock, it can give you $2 a year. like it grows. So let's say I'm just trying to make it simple.
You buy a
math
stock
here.
and you hold it, they pay you for it.
Yeah,
they pay you to just hold
for
on to
holding
it.
on to it, and you
That's
can
it.
take that money and do whatever you want with it.
You reinvest it so you don't pay taxes on it.
And it tends to appreciate in value too. So like you bought a stock for $100, they gave you $2 for holding it. The next year it's worth $110 a share. You know, so and now you get more money from dividends.
Right.
So.
You get dividends each quarter plus the appreciation of the stock.
But,
so like when Shell goes up double digits in a week, I get a dividend and the stock price appreciates.
Yeah.
And eventually when I sell and cash out, I'll get all that appreciation plus all the dividends it's given me
it's
too.
the money tree seeds or whatever that we're planting.
Planting money trees right now.
See, I'm like...
Thank you, Apple.
Autistically focused on... I always try to say autistically focused because like or Asperger's focused maybe is the better. Because man,
they're very good at honing in on topics.
Yeah, like just blindly just on this one thing, laser focused. Like for me, that's not spending money. So like normal people probably would be like, I'm gonna find a nice balance between preparing for tomorrow, the future, and also living in the moment. I'm like, nah. See, like Brett's extreme sacrifice.
Yeah, Brett lives in the moment. He's told me about it after his last adventure that he's decided to live in the moment because the future's not guaranteed. I'm like, but it's been guaranteed every fucking day so far.
Yeah, I mean,
I live with that, so I plan more in the future.
So you know, if somebody said that to me, I'd immediately want to project my opinions onto them. But really, like, we are having two totally different experiences. Like, really, Brett should know what's best for him. If he needs to just live in the moment right now, it's because it's just the way it is. And though his future, assuming it does keep going and he didn't prepare for the future, that's going to suck. But that's the sacrifice. You know, you can sacrifice today for tomorrow. Right. Or you could sacrifice tomorrow for today. There's no right way to do it. But for me, my fears, my beliefs, I feel like I need to secure my future.
Yes, especially since I plan to have a family. There's that exponential expectation of, you know, traditional household. You're the man, you're the male husband, you're in charge of the house, even though I like to live a half, 50-50. Yeah. Because that shit's complicated. I don't want to do it all by myself. Well, see, so I let my wife share some of it with me. But there's an expectation of you have to have a future, a home, income secured for your offspring. Yeah. So you need to fucking plan ahead. So that's what the investing started. It was like, I need, this is inheritance, right? Basically. That's how long I plan to hold it until they inherit it.
I think it'd be like cool.
Diamond hands.
Diamond hands.
Diamond hands, baby.
You have to put that on the screen. Diamond hands.
I'll put him up. I'll put the little guy up.
The idea that like saving up money and stuff and like having a place that you're at, like being in a relationship with someone else and like
changes your goals.
Well, I was going to say more from the financial point of view, which is it eases the burden of money. Like y'all split costs.
If your goals are equal.
Yeah.
My brother is experiencing something right now where he doesn't think his spouse's goals are equal. So he's recently had to move back in with mom. Yeah. He's not happy about it.
I mean, I guess my spouse are my roommates who pay rent.
I wouldn't call them your spouse. Call them roommates.
No, they're my spouses.
They don't suck your dick. They're not your spouse.
They're my bitches.
they pay my mortgage, bitch.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all very much.
Yeah, I'm hoping to eventually get another house and then rent mine out and have them pay the mortgage. Yeah. Yeah, I've already figured out the numbers and everything, how it's going to work. It's going to work perfectly. It's just a time thing.
I'm nervous.
Just waiting for it.
I'm nervous about, like, when I move out of here and I got somebody renting it out, like, the process of, like, finding somebody to get in and then, like, vetting them, finding the right person, and then, like, you can get a shit show.
Of course, you can get a bad tenant.
But, I'm going to...
But if you screen and vet them, I think you can screen and vet them enough to where you'll wash out 90% of your bad eggs.
I think what I'm going to do is lower the someone to get in someone in the military.
Oh, you definitely want a military.
Yeah, so I'm willing...
right over the fucking bridge, dude. That's prime real estate.
I am willing to charge less of a premium on rent to someone in the military. to get
I
them
don't
in.
know. That might be considered discrimination against non-military status people. You
I don't
gotta
know
be careful
shit.
about that. I do. I've got a couple books that specifically teach you how to find tenants, how to vet them, how to screen them, how to show the house to them, how to negotiate rent, all this shit. And it talked about Section 8, and there are certain things you cannot offer to special groups because it's illegal.
It's, you know how you
So it's
say
just something you got to look into.
I will absolutely look into it. But you know, if I have a bakery, I heard a story. This bakery and this gay person wanted a cake, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not gonna serve you.
Yeah, I've
you're
heard.
gay."
Yeah.
You know, it's a business's right to choose or refuse business.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you're an individual, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it wouldn't be on a hey, here, welcome all military people thing. It would be like, are there military people that want to rent?
Are you military?
Like, I'm going to pick whoever I think's best for the rental property.
Don't advertise it, but offer it.
Yeah, you know.
There you go.
And also be like, oh, hey, well, it's a little too high. I'm like, well, you're in the military. I'll cut you a discount or something. I mean, fuck, dude. People do military discounts. I don't understand like why giving a military discount for rent would be any.
It might be. It might not. I'm not educated
I'll have
on
to
the
look
subject.
into the legality behind it. But that's interesting. That's an interesting point. I'm sure
when you start talking about how much do I charge,
realtor would know
for the mortgage. Interesting. Because you don't want to be a scumbag.
Yeah.
But you don't want to fuck yourself at the same time, letting them be living, break even.
Yeah,
which doesn't include vacancies or repairs
that ain't
or
happening.
anything.
Not at all, bro. I ain't doing no break-even shit. Like, this is an investment. This isn't
exactly.
This isn't a charity case, man. I don't.
This is a business. I'm running a business. You need a service. I'll service you properly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the blinds broke. I'm buying new blinds.
Yeah, you buy new blinds. The toilet stops working. You buy a new toilet. AC gets out. You fucking replace it. That's part of being a landlord.
Yeah, which.
But
I mean, that's
paying
just
your mortgage is about being a tenant.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to do this year was supposed to be about the balance. Like, I'd already planted so many money seeds, and they've already blossomed so much, and I believe they're going to keep growing.
Right.
This year is supposed to be one of not like luxury or anything, but just like tone it down a little bit. But with everything happening in the world, prices of everything have gone up, and my hours got cut because less people are doing. So I'm making less money.
I still don't understand how they cut your hours, but have a sign out for hiring new people.
I talked to him about that.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Let's
totally did.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So the sign, I was like, so are we hiring people? Because earlier that day,
she said, sign outside.
Because earlier that day, she said, because someone called about a job, and she's like, I was like, are we hiring? And she was like, no. And then I was like, all right, we'll talk to him. And then she referred him to a different store. And I was like, why do we have that sign out there if we're not hiring? She's like, I did not put that sign out here. Brian put that sign out here.
Okay, who's Brian?
And Brian's like the overseer of Bossier.
Oh, so he's like the district manager?
Yeah, the district manager.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, I didn't put that out there. He did. But we are not hiring. I was about to say, because we ain't got enough hours to go around. Don't be hiring someone else.
Right now.
So she's like, yeah, we just refer them to the other store.
Gotcha.
Because they need drivers. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm like,
it's just weird to advertise it there.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that they need drivers so bad they're advertising everywhere they can.
Just pay them $15 an hour. It won't be a problem.
Jesus. Yeah, dude. Hey, I'd quit my job and get rehired to make 15.
Right. And you should.
Plus tips and mileage.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. They better raise those rates, those mileage rates, man.
We're gonna have to eventually.
Yeah. I mean, they're supposed to do it like every now and again. I don't know how long it takes, but bro, the gas prices are shooting up way faster than their normal process.
$3.99 when I filled Jenna up.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm gonna experience $4 gas.
Fucking.
It hadn't been this low since 2008.
Yep. You mean high?
Yeah.
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 I was like, it ain't been this low.
Lowest I think I've ever seen it. I think I took a picture of it on my phone. I think it was 132.
132.
I took a picture of it on my phone. That's how low it was. It's never been that low.
Bro. Like,
it is, but it just reinforces my personal take of like, just need to buy a Tesla.
Yeah.
Another reason to get a Tesla.
They're raising prices on Teslas too, bro.
I know. That's why I can't buy one. But the seed is still there that the Tesla is a goal.
You can't even get a used Tesla for a reasonable price.
I know.
Like, some of them are more expensive than a brand new Tesla. Like,
they're gonna force me to buy a Ford Maverick and drive that for a couple years till I get a better job. Then I can afford to actually buy a Tesla.
I'm just gonna get a
See,
fucking
my brother's also
bicycle.
run into this issue where he has a high car note. It's like $450.
Do you realize?
And at the time, it was okay because he had $4,000 in the bank. But over 3 years, you grind away that money slowly and surely to where, hey, you can't pay your car note now. You're looking at trading that bitch in for something cheaper. Planning ahead versus living in the moment.
Yeah.
Joining the guard. That
Bro,
was living in the moment, not planning ahead.
My manager's car note is like 1.5 times the note of my mortgage.
Holy fucking shit.
No, I have
What
a
does
low
he
mortgage.
drive?
She.
What does
A
she
Jeep.
drive? A Jeep?
A Jeep.
A Jeep?
A Jeep.
Just a regular Jeep?
I mean, I don't know shit about Jeeps.
What the fuck? My
It's a
friend
nice
about to buy a
looking
Jeep. He said it was $56,000 for the new Jeep Bronco, and I was like,
Yeah, dude, get a fucking Tesla, man. Get a fucking Tesla.
yeah.
Wait for the Cybertruck, man.
You want to pay what for gas? $12 a gallon? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Whatever, man. If
I
it
like-
makes you happy, you spend enough time in it. If it makes you happy, buy it. But you better have money secured for that
So,
bitch.
I mean, I want a Tesla right now.
My
But
car note is $280, and I overpay on it.
mine's
So it's actually like $180 right
mine's
now.
a little less than 165.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. My mortgage is also small because I put 20% down.
Yeah, you got a nice. I didn't get that luxury.
Yeah.
But I will eventually get there when the PMI stops pulling out.
So I think something people need to think about before they get the car, because you get all caught up in the excitement of a new car.
New car.
And, at a certain point, you're just working to maintain this car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how much of your hours are going, like, how many, like, if you stop looking at things in terms of how much money they cost, but how much money you make per hour, start looking at things in the sense of time.
Yeah, you start valuing your time. You really start putting dollars to your time. You change what you do with your time.
Yeah, so you could look at, like, imagine if you went to the store and you looked at a bag of chips and it said 30 minutes.
Exactly.
You're
yes.
like, oh,
that's how you need to view your time.
I'm going to give up 30 minutes of my life for this bag of chips.
My car note cost me 30 hours of my work week.
Right? So
it's too much.
So have you seen that movie In Time?
Yes.
That's a perfect example. They took that concept of what we're talking about and put it into an actual film where time is money. You know, so you're like, oh yeah, here, I'll spare you a couple hours, because this is the reality. We have a limited amount of time, and on this earth, I don't want to be working away at a job longer than I have to just to be in a slightly nicer car that does the same shit my cheaper car does.
Yeah, that every other car. See, the cars is one of those things, but I don't understand why you people buy all those expensive.
It's a luxury.
Shit.
It's a luxury,
like,
bro.
Does the car that cost you $60,000 a year bring you $60,000 worth of exponential enjoyment?
It wouldn't for me.
It wouldn't for me. That's why you buy a cheap car. You buy a $20,000 car.
Bro, I paid $12,500 for my car brand new.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at like 93,000 miles
mine
right
was
now.
22 or 23. It was in the low 20s.
Yeah, I mean, mine doesn't have fucking cruise control.
And I was still skeptical about
Fuck them for that.
paying it. Because I went in there with a hard dollar amount.
Yeah.
Which is what you're supposed to do when you go negotiating things. My hard dollar amount was $330.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not paying a single dollar over $330. They came back with $280. I was like, it's fucking perfect. Jen, she went in there with $350 and they talked her up to $420.
That's a good number.
It's a good number, yeah. But now she can't pay a percentage of the bill out of one paycheck. It has to come out of another. So you have to budget to make that car fit.
My car payment is so cheap.
My car's payment's so cheap. Hers was like 30s, low 30s.
Dude, anything above 200 is expensive to me.
In my opinion, anything over 350 is expensive.
See, dude, I'm disconnected with the reality of what things cost these days because I locked in.
You're
locked in low prices.
Yeah, you got low prices locked in right now, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, God. I was like, bro, just surviving sounded harder and harder every day. I'm like, if I didn't have my Tesla stock, bro, I'd be like sweating real fucking hard right now.
Most people are. They're sweating bullets right now trying to stay afloat.
See, I have the luxury of being able to sell my stock, but I treat it as if it's not an option.
That luxury takes that stress off you.
Yeah.
Most people don't have that because they've been educated on it.
I feel the surface level stress of it, of like if I have to sell it, because to me that's failure. I'm not going to fail on this. I will do everything I can to not sell that.
Okay.
That's my future. I'm not trying to sell my future short. But the reality is I know deep down in my unconscious mind that worst case scenario for me is not worst case scenario for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like my worst case scenario is now I have less money.
Right.
You know, but I'm still paying my bills.
Yeah.
Other people, it's having no money, negative money,
Right.
going into debt.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I wonder if I do get as wealthy as I believe I will. Like,
as long as
when does the disconnect start to happen? Like the change,
right,
you know?
the big change.
I can't even say like I'm afraid of it. I mean, change is inevitable, but like I hope I don't lose empathy for people.
Right,
Like,
as some people do, they get rich and they're forget where they come from.
Yeah, you just
I
never
feel like
know.
I've grown up poor long enough that it'll be impossible to do.
They say money amplifies you. You know, if you're a greedy person and you get more money, you'll just be more greedy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you're a giving person and now you have more money, you'll be more giving.
Right.
And I want to give so fucking bad. Like, but I look at it as anything. Like, I want to like, do things, buy things for people.
Yes.
Like,
take care of people.
I love the feeling of giving.
Yes.
But I look at giving,
I
look at giving the same way I look at buying something for myself. Both of them, like buying something for myself that I want, I enjoy that. I enjoy giving. But both of those things are just dopamine hits.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I will give when I'm financially free and I have reoccurring income.
Right.
That's when I give.
I'm going to be one of those older people that's given to the youngers. Because that's how I've been taken care of. It's always the older generation that's helped me in a pinch. So that's what I strive to be. In my older age, someone that can help anyone out. That's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to give my grandkid a car where my grandmother couldn't give me a car.
Well, let's face it, no one's going to be driving when you have a grandkid.
Oh, I know.
It's going to be self-driving cars.
They'll all be self-driving cars, yeah. That's interesting. Maybe that will what we will talk about on the next podcast is the future, what we think life will be like in 2060.
Might have another podcast like next month.
Yeah. Might be coming up real soon.
Real soon. Yeah, a month will hit you faster than you know it.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I think we're good right here.
Yeah, I think it's a good point to end it, too.
All right. Appreciate you coming on, man.
I enjoyed coming on, man. Good talks as always.
Okay. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Take it easy.
You bad boys and girls.